Hello, everyone, and welcome to Filmmaking with our Halloween special for this 30th of October. My name is Francis. You have Dylan. You know us very well, but you don't know our guests. Well, at least half of our guests, because today we receive not one, not two, but three guests on the show, starting with the Marshall Brothers and their movie, I Can't Let You Go.
Sorry. Hey guys, sorry. Seems that the sound didn't come on for the video. I'll just restart it just to make sure that you have sound for the short film. I wouldn't want you to not hear it. So here we go.
Look out! Look out! I'm fire! I'm fire!
Have you got something to say?
Okay.
Well, if you promise to calm down, I'll take the gag off and we can talk, yeah? Better?
I never meant for any of it to happen. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Well, we both know that's a lie now, don't we? You won't ever do that to me again.
Please! Help! Help! Help!
Well, so simple but yet effective. Very love that. How are you guys? Oh, I think you're muted.
Hey, muted, Dan. I'm good anyway.
Nope, we can't hear
Oh.
you.
Okay, well, Steven, since you can
Yeah.
speak to us.
Yeah, so yeah, pretty good short. Actually, I already brought some comments from the people watching. I love the tension, great scene, and then finishing with a what, which is pretty much what I said when I watched it the first time. But before we dive into the movie, could you talk a bit about yourself, guys?
Yeah, so we're from a place called Leeds in England, which is just one of the smaller cities in England. It's not one of the bigger ones. And just absolutely love films. And I mean, I'm more into horror than Dan is. So you'll find the horror ideas are more my ideas. But we just make films because we love it. It's not like any, it's not like a job. It's just like something we enjoy doing as like a hobby. And Dan's invested in a lot of equipment because when he gets into something, he really gets into something. So yeah, that's pretty much why we do it. Basically, it's not something we get paid for, unfortunately. If it was, it'd be fantastic. But
Oh yeah, Dylan is pretty much like that. When he gets into something, he dives deep.
You
Well, yeah, it's actually it's pretty great. Like that was one of my questions, if it was more of a hobby or a job or both. Who knows? So you say that you're more into the horror genre.
yeah.
Who is your favorite filmmaker for that genre?
Oh, John Carpenter. I absolutely love John Carpenter. So pretty much anything he did, like from Halloween's my favorite horror film. So anything from Halloween, he did kind of drop off a bit towards the end, but up until like he did In the Mouth of Madness and all that, yeah, I'm a big Carpenter fan.
Well, I hope you will still be live later on because SAMHAIN is actually a fan film about Halloween.
Okay.
Very, very good fan film that won an award, was nominated for another one. Good film.
I'll have to check. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
Well, anyway, so when did you guys start actually doing film together?
Oh gosh. Well, we used to have an old camcorder. I've still got it upstairs, actually, funnily enough. Back when we lived in a place called Armley, we used to just shoot films in the house. And I mean, I used to do them with my friends as well, not just with Dan. So, and even then, Dan was the one going out and buying like a tripod because we needed a tripod and stuff. And I was making little horrors. And I mean, when we used to make them, we didn't have scripts. We just used to start shooting and mix them up on spot, which was very fun, but probably didn't make a lot of sense when we finished it out and that. So, but back in the day, we used to just record it to video as well. So the edit was what you did on the camera.
Yeah.
So that was the.
Well, that's actually pretty cool, and we still can't hear you, Dan.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
No, can't hear him.
maybe
I don't
try
know if
unplugging and replugging your headphones. In.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll just take the earphones out then. I don't know what's going on there.
Okay. So actually, this is a question I asked on the last live, and it was, I think, a really good question to ask. But what is your thought process when you create something? Like you're more in the horror. I don't know what is your style. What's your style, Dan?
Gosh, I think when we start, you mean when we start a project? Yeah, we usually just message each other, don't we? To just sort of, we'll just randomly. I think that's the way our brains work. We'll just randomly think of an idea, and I'll message him in whatever way, whether it's by text or even if we're at work or by a little messenger, just saying what do you think to this, and that's generally where we start. And then whether it's my idea or Bob's idea, I'll start scripting because I'm, probably don't mean to sound big-headed about it. I'm not a great writer, but I'm probably the better writer out of the two of us. So
Yeah, he is.
Which of you is more the idea guy?
Oh, that's me.
Bob.
That's me.
Stephen, that's you.
Yeah, Stephen Bob. Just to confuse the audience. Yeah, I come up with all idea. Like the idea for this was actually Dan's idea to do something in a garage, and I was the one who sort of came up with making it more of a horror with a bit of a twist, because Dan loves a twist ending as well. So
yeah, definitely.
Sorry, just had to do one little thing. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's pretty good. Apart from that, I lost my. Sorry, I have to share a link. And I lost my flow. Okay. So then you had the idea for the short film. We're gonna actually go into the details of the short film. Like obviously, the first thing you say when she stabs him is, "Holy crap, that escalated quickly."
yeah.
And who had the idea for the clone your loved ones? Because that's a really good twist.
I think was that me? Because I seem to think I wanted to do something. I'm quite into sci-fi, so
Yeah.
cloning somebody is quite a good idea. So for the horror elements have probably come from Bob's side, and the sci-fi sides come from me. So like I said, I'm really into like doing sci-fi stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, I would say it's probably me that did that. Yeah.
Nice. I did. What was the biggest challenge surrounding this film exactly?
I think probably it was. We actually had a friend of ours come along, Mark Newton, who also directs his own films. So he was a big help to us on angles and lighting and stuff. So usually if we work with him and we have an issue where we're not sure quite how to shoot something, he's great because he'll straight think of something. And he's like, "Why don't you just shoot it like this?" And we're like, "All right, well, we'll go with that." So he made it relatively easy. I think it was probably getting the location, and that's the biggest challenge for us generally. Anyway, I do live near some garages, you know, where they fix cars and stuff, and a body part shop. And originally he was going to let me use there. I was going to film in there, and then he changed his mind and said no. And then I was just like, my neighbours over the road have garages, so I just sent them a quick message and just said, "Do you mind?" And they were like, "No, it's fine. Yeah, come and film here." So fortunately, they don't use it for all. They don't even put that. They've got 2 cars and they don't have either of them in there, so it was pretty empty as well for us to use.
Yeah.
To just use it for a bit of storage.
Yeah,
so
it was
quite
ideal. Yeah, quite an ideal location.
Yeah.
I actually think the biggest challenge probably came for Danny in the edit, because some of the stuff didn't work that we'd done. So I think that was probably the biggest challenge on the project for Dan. One of the biggest challenges filming was we were going to have a scene where the character fell off the chair, and we just couldn't do it. And as friend Mark said, "I'll just catch him," which in your mind you think, "Oh, that's a good idea," but it just
didn't work out.
It was like that, struggling to hold things.
The guy fell over, unfortunately.
So the edit anyway, Dan kind of saved the film, because a lot of the angles we used, they just didn't work, you know, when you cut in and go back and forth. So I think it's really thanks to Dan that it came out as well as it did, because I think otherwise it would have not been probably would have made even less sense.
Yeah, I think the end basically in the kitchen area where he comes in, the shots they intercut weren't the original idea. They were actually bits that we just couldn't get into the earlier bit of the film. So I was like, well, what if we just cut them into the end of the film, like flashbacks, and then it sort of all worked. It all ended up working out. But yeah, sorry, I did forget about the edit. It got left for quite a long time. We filmed this over a year ago.
Yeah, it happens a lot actually that you save a movie during the edit, and this is something that editors don't get the credit for, because it happens more often than we think, even in Hollywood, that like they will do shots and it will not work, and then the editor just goes through it and makes something really good with it. They don't get that credit. Like they will never talk about the fact that it was badly shot. But
I think that's kind of strange for us, because I pretty much do all the post-production stuff, and I always find it like, can you imagine directing something then you don't even edit it yourself, you give it to somebody else? And I've always found that to be quite a strange feeling for somebody. Must be for someone in Hollywood, because I'm used to doing it all.
um, actually, I saw in your, I think you said it was your kitchen, Bob, that Stephen actually.
Yeah.
It's easier to call you Bob. No.
Just call me Bob, it's fine.
Over your left shoulder, is it Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I would reach it down, but I'm kind of tucked in. But it's actually a 3D poster. It's like a model, and it's
Nice.
the classic poster with the blades coming over to Nancy, and she's in the bed all. So yeah,
Okay.
it's Dan got me
Did
that
I?
actually.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
did I get you that? I thought I
They
did.
got me for Christmas one year, so it's a gift from Dan.
Nice. Well, it's a nice gift, and actually, it's perfect because someone asked. You said John Carpenter was your favorite filmmaker
Yeah.
for horror, and behind you have something from Wes Craven, and someone said John Carpenter versus Wes Craven, who wins?
Oh, John Carpenter. I've got a lot of time for Wes Craven, but Wes Craven has made a lot more rubbish, I would say, than John Carpenter did. Wes Craven had a lot of bad films in between Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream. Basically, he's a master of horror. I'll give him that. And Nightmare on Elm Street's brilliant, and so is Scream. But he did a lot. He's done a lot of fluff. I think Carpenter's fluff is very minimal, and it's towards the back end of his career.
Yes, Carpenter was amazing for Halloween.
Yeah.
Like it was, like even when you watch it, the way he cuts the scene, like the way he chooses the angles of the camera, like
Yeah.
all the tension that he can build through the camera is just amazing. And it is something that you don't really get with Nightmare on Elm Street, but Freddy is way more scary.
Yeah, I guess in some way. I think in the first one he is. I think as the sequels got on, he turned into a bit of a joke. But I love Freddie. I love Michael. I love Jay. I love Friday the 13th as well. I love Jason. So I love my horror icons.
Well,
I think I probably still wear my t-shirt.
oh yeah. Well, you mentioned Jason, and someone said that we got Freddy versus Jason, but we never got Jason versus Michael. Would you watch that?
Yeah. Oh, I'd absolutely love it. Yeah, I don't know if it'd quite work because they're both silent. I think Freddy versus Jason works because Freddy's got the voice basically, and if you just had two silent killers, it'd be maybe a bit boring.
Actually, someone said, well, think you can create a short combining your favorite genre. It comes from Emilio. But you actually did in some way with that movie because you have the horror part and the sci-fi part.
Yeah.
But do you have any other movie that you made that combined those two styles, or was the first one?
That's a really good question.
I'm trying to think. Well, the last horror I did was a film called Confess, and that was a little bit more thriller than. I mean, it was still horror, but it was a bit more thriller. I wanted to make, but I don't know if we've done a science fiction horror. Maybe we need to do more of those. I mean, it's funny because like The Thing, we both love The Thing, don't we? And that's a mixture of the two genres, Alien and all that. So
they live.
Yeah,
they live as well.
Yeah.
So
I
don't think we've crossed
probably it. Yeah.
Is there any other? Oh, maybe girl. Just looking at the leaving the doors unlocked. Yeah, they talk about all the classic things in our movie.
Yeah.
If you had to choose, each of you guys, not specifically in the horror, but what is your favorite movie of all time?
Lord of the Rings for me. I know that's a bit of a cheat because it's actually 3 movies, but I always count it as one because it was basically meant to be one book on it. So yeah, Lord of the Rings for me, definitely.
Yeah, and it was filmed in one. So
Yeah, I think you can probably count that because of the way it was filmed. But I can't. Can I pick 5 even though it's cheating?
You can pick 5.
I've got the 5 Untouchables. So it's Back to the Future.
That's my number 2.
Yeah, Halloween, Superman the movie, which is I'm a big Superman guy as well.
Okay.
Jaws, and then Robocop. They're like my 5 Untouchables.
And when you say Robocop, you're not talking about the remake.
No. I actually didn't think that was too bad. Of all the remakes I've seen, it was probably one of the least offensive ones. But the original is just an absolute classic, and I grew up watching it, so I think there's a lot of nostalgia in those choices. But those are my 5 untouchables. I always
do I get to say my other top 4 then?
Yeah, sure.
I would also go Back to the Future. I love the Goonies, Big Trouble in Little China, and I think then it's kind of a toss-up between a few movies, but since Cobra Kai came out recently, I've gone back to watch Karate Kid, and I was just like, that's going back into my top 5. I love it. I'm very much. I love films that I loved as a kid, and I loved all of them as a kid, and I still love them today. So
my girlfriend is a huge fan of the Karate Kid, and she binge watched Cobra Kai. She rewatched them every Christmas time. She just loved them so much, and I've never been a fan of these movies. Actually, I was more outgoing when I was young. I really got into movies around 16 years old, I think. That's when I really dove in, and I never came back. So I fell in love with the whole universe of cinematography.
Francis, can you let me ask the audience, what's your top 5 movies? Because I think it would be interesting to see the top 5 of everyone that's listening in. So please write it in the chat. What's your top 5 movies that you love watching over and over again?
Well, actually, Emil, you has a question for all of us. Favorite OG Universal horror movie?
I'm not actually really into the Universal ones that much. I like the idea of them, but when I watch them, I tend to find them not that entertaining. But it's a bit, I don't know. I'd have to probably go back and look, but there is something really interesting about the original, Bela Lugosi Dracula and stuff. Whenever I see any footage from that, I always find it quite interesting, to watch, because it's a completely different kind of film and a performance than we used to like in the modern day. So I'll just give you that answer as my stock answer.
So we're on about the Universal horror characters we're on about here. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I'm not that clued up on them, to be honest. I don't really know them that well.
Can we say Monster Squad?
Well, yeah.
Monster Squad's great, yeah.
Yeah, if we look at it, you would have Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, Invisible Man is around among them, Werewolf of London.
Can I say I like zombies?
And usually they just get remade all the time.
Yeah, that's another thing.
To be fair, I did watch The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. I can't remember what years they came out. The ones with Brendan Fraser. I watched them last few nights, to be honest. I do like them.
They said OG, Dan. You're not allowed to use them.
I know. Well, he said remake, so I thought I'd throw it in there.
Yeah, if I would go with that, I'd say I'm not a huge fan of the really old movies. Yeah, you can throw tomatoes. I don't watch the OG. I don't know if there's something I just fall asleep on them. I'm just not used maybe to most of them being black and white. But if I have to choose one, I'd say Frankenstein. That would be the one that I didn't fall asleep on. What about you, Dylan?
I don't watch horror movies. I mean, that's why you didn't hear me talk a lot so far. I feel a bit disconnected from what's we're talking about. So, and also I have people talking to me around here. So, So yeah, if I know I'm not speaking a lot today, but Francis is doing the job of hosting, and I'm doing the job of operating. So that's gonna be my answer. I watched The Walking Dead, so that's the closest to horror that I watched.
So someone answered for John Michael Chen said The Big Lebowski, Empire Strikes Back, Ocean 11, Smokey and the Bandit, and he says he grew up to his dad's classic. Yeah, it's yeah. If I have to go in my top 5, that would be hard, but there's not many classic in them. Like I do have the whole Lord of the Rings saga. This is what got me to want to work on Shadow of the Conqueror, actually, because there's some medieval in it, there's magic, and this is what got me interested in the project before even being named director on it. So yeah, the Lord of the Rings, obviously, that's on my top of the list. Back to the Future is a classic, pretty simple. I'd say, like, in the horror stuff, I really liked the Insidious.
All right, yeah.
Actually, I like the whole universe around it, but my favorite of that universe would be Annabelle Come Home, which is the third one, I think.
Yeah, that was good, that one. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a thrill. Like,
yeah.
I was nervous the whole time. It had been a long time since I felt that way on the movie. And the Halloween are among my favorite. And I love Wes Craven. But yeah, like you said, the first Freddie mainly, and the Scream. That's pretty much
there is two,
yeah,
two iconic ones.
Because otherwise, if you go with Nightmare on Elm Street, like, it just got really comedic. And it actually, like, stray away from the horror part.
Yeah.
But they actually terrorized me for a very long time when I was a kid. So even if they were funny for some people. Oh my God! Someone said never watched the full Lord of the Rings or Hobbit movie. Always wanted to.
Hobbit, you don't have to watch. You don't need to watch Hobbit.
It's not that bad.
I don't agree. I think they're really.
No, I don't say it's like, it's not great, but it's not bad. But you don't need to watch it. You need to watch Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the distinction I'm making.
Okay? If you have to choose 3 movies to watch the original Lord of the Rings. Don't go for the Hobbit. Yeah. But if you have time for the 6 of them,
I would. I would recommend the extended editions. In fact, of both.
Oh yeah.
I actually think the Hobbit, the extended editions, are far better as well than the standard editions. And obviously, it's the same for Lord of the Rings. And if you're going to watch them, watch Lord of the Rings first. I would say, don't watch the Hobbit first.
No.
Even though it's set before it.
We have another that said his top 5 was Legendary Monsterverse, Back to the Future trilogy, Harry Potter movies, Fast and Furious movies, and Tremor franchise. Fast and Furious, seriously? After the first one? Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, and Tremor's after the first one as well. Tremor's 1's great, but the sequels are awful.
I've only ever seen the first Fast and the Furious movie, and that was enough for me. I didn't need to watch anymore. I do want to see. I think they did Hobbs and Shaw, didn't they?
I'm sorry for those who like Fast and Furious, but I didn't even get through the first one.
So, oh my God!
I'm not into cars either, so I think maybe if you're into cars, it might be more entertaining. But they're going to space in one of them apparently, though, because they're doing 3 more or something, and one of them's going to be in space. I'm like.
Actually, the horror movie move, doesn't it? Horror movie gets taken into space. We've got nowhere else to go.
Leprechaun in space, yeah.
How long would it take to watch all the Lord of the Rings in one sitting? About 10 hours, I think.
Yeah, I think it's longer. I think it's 12.
12?
Yeah, because they're nearly 4 hours. The extended edition, sorry, I'm thinking of. The standard edition, you might be talking 10, yeah.
Yeah, this is, yeah.
I don't think there are 4 hours. There may be 30 minutes.
Yeah, 3, so 9 to 12. Because you need to go to the bathroom, eat.
Normally it's at least a day, and you take a few breaks.
Yeah, just a few. Actually, the worst thing I've done in one sitting was watching the whole Saw, the whole series of Saw movies. Yeah, I just came out of a breakup. It actually set me straight up. Like it worked. I've watched them all. I've pictured stuff, and after that was fine. So
I think the first Saw movie is actually a brilliant film. I think it's really well made. It's a really, really good film, and I think because it went a bit more. I don't want to say slashy, but you know what I mean, don't you?
Yeah,
it became more about how they could kill
people. It became part of the torture genre. Is that I think?
Yeah, the torture genre. Yeah, where the first one actually, if you go back, it's still a really, really good film.
yeah, I'd say like the first one was really good. Second and third, they were more into the like gory stuff, and I think it was about from the fourth to the sixth that I was like invested in the story again. Because second and third were just like killing people, pretty much.
Did you just say 4 to 6? I didn't even know there were. I didn't know
there's even a
4.
seventh one actually.
Really?
There's one called just Jigsaw. It was not that bad. It was not that bad compared to the second and third.
It just seems to anticipate too much for me.
Yeah, I think he got to the point where he was like God, and he just knew what was going to happen.
So actually. Two more questions for you guys. Well, first one, because there's a lot of people talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What's your take on those?
I'm not a fan of Texas Chainsaw. I really like the remake. You know, the 2003 Platinum Dunes film. I think that's a really good because it's more of a slasher. But the original, it's just I appreciate its place in horror history, but it's just not my kind of horror. It's that kind of backwards documentary style where it feels more raw and real, and I think I prefer a bit more cartoony, which is why I like Jason, because he's like doing the kills are ridiculous in that, whereas Texas Chainsaw is. And that franchise, there's just such a mess with the timeline. It's like every single one's like a reboot. It's absolutely ridiculous. But the remake in 2003, I think, is really good. But that's the only one that I like in that. In that series,
yeah, it's not. I'm not. I'm not big into horror like Bob though, so it's probably not a surprise. But the original freaks me out, so I've gone nowhere near anything else after that.
You mentioned like that documentary style, but look, maybe. What do you think about the Blair Witch Project?
Me and Bob differ on this. I really liked it and it really scared me. And well, I'll let Bob tell you what he thinks.
I think it's terrible. I do not like found footage movies. The only one I've watched, and I wouldn't even call it found footage, I'd call it live footage, is that film Host on Shudder. That was fantastic. But found footage films, to me, it's almost like they just seem to kind of all follow a pattern. And it's like Paranormal Activity. They introduced... the bit everyone was scared of at the end where she smiled at camera and her face went demonic, it was CGI, so I'm like, well, what am I scared of? It's a computer graphics. But yeah, Blair Witch, I just thought, no, nothing happens for like 2 hours, and I'm like, what am I watching?
You made your own found footage movie, which is our most viewed movie. Did that follow the same patterns?
It did, but the thing is, I kind of made it as a kind of joke on the genre because I think it's ridiculous, and so it's pretty terrible because there were no scripts. I just shot it. I just shot things that I thought of, and I did it as like a joke on the genre. So but I'm just not found footage. Just doesn't really work for me. It has to be something really clever and short. I find short as well. Found footage works better.
Okay, and actually, since we're in it's totally not just like in the discussion, but did you guys watch the American version of The Office?
No, I've always wanted to watch it though. I've not seen it, but I've always wanted to watch it.
It's just that
getting time.
There is a part in it where Michael he welcomes new employees to the office, and he always does a video for it. And on this one, it was the Electric City, I think. And there's just one of the characters goes in front of the camera and says, "Oh, it was not that bad. It's not like when you did the Blair, the Scranton Witch Project, and you just have Michael just." His nose running, and he's just like, "Oh my god, I'm so scared." So every time I think about Blair Witch Project now, I have this face, and it's magnificent. But,
I think Bob's being very harsh. I think it was very clever filmmaking. I think they did a really good job. So
Don't get me
That's my
wrong.
take.
I wish I'd thought of it because those guys spent a lot of money on that film.
Yeah, my last question would be, Jeff. Well, do you have a new any project coming soon, and what can you share about it without spoiling the whole thing?
I'll share. I think we might be working on a project each because obviously we're in lockdown in the UK, so we can't really make much. I mean, we got our city is about to go into tier 3, which means we can't visit anybody. Me and Bob usually we live near each other, so we'll go for a walk, and we're not even going to be able to do that. So I think we're working on separate projects. I am currently working on a noir movie. I'd say slightly influenced by Sin City, but I can't really pull off that style. So I've kind of gone with a more classic noir with a couple of bits in there that sort of resemble Sin City. In terms of revealing stuff, it's about 2.5 minutes long. So I think if I told you, I'd completely spoil it. But bit of a gangster kind of revenge style movie. That's about all I can say. I can't really, without spoiling it all. So
Well,
I'm
anyway,
working on that.
I'm following your page, so I'll be watching that when it come out. And if you guys like the movie, they do have their own YouTube channel called Marshall Bros Production. Super easy to find. Found it like just by writing horror movie and making like in the last week released. And they were on top, so you should find them easy. So I strongly recommend that you go follow them too. So that was pretty much all for us tonight. It was nice having you guys.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hopefully,
I'll just
we'll.
quickly say that the brothers is spelled BROS dot. Just if
Bros,
you're looking for
Bros,
yeah,
yeah.
it's like the Warner Brothers one, yeah. With
Marshall
Bobby's copy.
Bros Production, yeah.
The Marshall Bros. Hey, bros.
Yeah, bros. So it was nice having you guys.
Yeah,
so
thanks for having us.
We're gonna say goodbye for now, and maybe we'll invite you back at some point when you have another movie that we can share.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very
What
much.
you think. Yeah, brilliant. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Take care.
Guys.
Take care.
Take care. So the next movie we're gonna watch actually is a movie in which we don't have any guests for it, but it's a really nice 3-minute short film that I found really nice with a twist at the end that was pretty crazy. And after that, we're gonna invite on the show our guest from Social House Film, Aaron Fradkin, that you've already met in the first episode of Filmmaking with. And they're making a comeback with their new short called Happy Halloween. So for now, let's play Creaker by Vidal.
Okay, give me a second. And we're
So,
back
yeah.
live.
Yeah, that's actually something that I just said, what the hell, when it finished. And I thought it was pretty nice, and I wanted to show it on the live because it's a really good movie. I contacted the director, but he was not available. So he proved that we showed this movie live with you guys. He might be coming on the show like in the future for another film, but mainly he
I
is
really
a
hope
poster
he
maker.
does. This was amazing.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good suspense. But he is mainly a poster maker. He does poster for films and stuff like that. His full name, if you go in the description of the video, is Vidar Tevasvold, and you have his Instagram, which is Mancat Design. And if you go there, you will see all his poster art. Pretty nice stuff. So, without further ado, we will dive in directly on Happy Halloween by Social House Film, and we'll have them live right after.
What makes Starborn the greatest game you've never heard of? Well, to begin with, it's basically Civilization in space, but with
Okay, sorry again. It seems that like I'm having a lot of problems with my sound today. I didn't have the time to troubleshoot it before, so I'm really sorry about this. Let's go. Let's go again.
You're tall. Well, happy Halloween. Oh, I'm out of candy. You know, I can just run out to the store and get some more if you want to come back. Okay. Oh. Okay.
Hello? Whoa, thanks. Cool. Cool. Let's go carry it.
Okay, so yeah, really love that movie. So first of all, welcome back.
Thanks for having us again.
Well, that movie, like I couldn't have made that show without that movie. Like, it doesn't make sense to have a special Halloween without a movie called Happy Halloween. So actually, like for this movie, what I really loved not only was the acting, obviously, it was really good. Like compared to the very first film that we watched, like this one, like I don't know, it just like we saw a whole different level of from you on this one.
Well, thank you.
But apart from that, the technical on this movie, like the sheets flying, the forms disappearing, the fact that even on the last frame you don't see the camera and the reflection, like all of this, like so all of my questions are more around that, I think. Because it was good, but I need to do a shout out to the kid that played in that movie because they were just amazing. They were
perfect.
Yeah.
The kids were perfect.
Yeah.
They were neighbors, and we were like, we need kids for this, and you know, we filmed this at Aaron's parents' house, and so we went up there, and the kids were just outside, and I was like, hey, do you guys want to be in a short film? They're like, okay, and they're on their scooters just, you know, riding circles around me, and I was like, come over here in like an hour, we'll put you in costume and makeup, and that's it.
We'll give you money, we'll give you candy, and that should seal the deal.
And that's that. And then they were improvised. Like, what are our lines?
That's not
Can we do
strange at
more?
all.
Like, yeah.
Luring candy, kids with candy.
Exactly.
Yeah, Dylan, I don't think you want to say that live. That
I know. The fact that we had a video camera didn't make it any better, but it was, no, it was their parents were there, and it was fun.
Popped in.
Someone said he snatched her to the netherworld.
Since can I ask? So how did you do the effect of the sheet getting removed and seeing that there's nothing under the sheet?
So, I mean, this was actually one of like the first fancy editing effects I think I ever learned how to do. It was basically just masking in Premiere.
Okay, so
So
it's
I'm familiar with masking, but you basically, you know, we shot a plate, like an empty plate of just the location, and then you don't touch the camera. You know, like for the shot where all the sheets just fall down on the Ghost Army, Victoria and I literally would just stand in one position, and then on the count of 3, we would drop the sheets. Then we would go to the next position on the count of 3, drop the sheets, and then go to the final position on the count of 3, drop the sheets. And then I would literally just, as the sheets fell, I literally just masked that motion down, revealing the empty plate
that
underneath.
must have been hours of fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's very tedious, but it's such a simple trick, and it's
I know it's simple.
That it works, and sometimes, you know,
it was done perfectly.
Thank you.
And how did you do the pull one? You know, when he's outside.
Well, in our making of video, you can actually have footage of me pulling the sheet away, and I literally just masked myself out, and then first I masked myself out, and then I masked Victoria out, who was standing underneath.
I was haunting my own self.
Yeah.
I'm under that sheet.
That's some Inception level stuff. There was actually someone said, the second I see anything that seems like a haunting or demonic, you know my butt is going to the church. And someone asked, anyone have a favorite vampiric creature from mythology?
A vampire creature?
Yeah, vampiric. Yeah,
Sure.
creature. He says he fancy Romanian strigoi. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, I don't know enough about vampiric.
Emilio knows a lot of beasts, creepy beasts.
Have
Right?
you guys ever seen Underworld?
Yeah.
Do you like the Underworld movies?
First one.
The first
After-
one was good, yeah.
Yeah.
My
after that, it
girlfriend
was.
loves Underworld. Steph, come here and talk to us about Underworld.
I mean, yeah, I thought those movies were fun. They're just fun.
And because I know how you work usually when you create a short film, who had the idea of this one? Like, who woke up in the middle of the night and be like, holy crap, we need to do that?
We were thinking about whose idea this was, and this one was really just like a blending. Like, you know, we knew we wanted to do something that was just Halloween concentrate, so that was the goal. And then Aaron's constantly, you know, simpler. If we can just come up with that simple idea, like what's that simple idea? And I was like, well, we love the sheet effect from Bedhead, so what if we could do something else like that? And then after that, it was just kind of like ping pong. You know, one of us came up with one portion, and then he would come up with more. It was really collaborative. So I thought that was really fun.
I know Victoria had the original idea of doing something with trick-or-treaters. Originally, I think it was just the ghost showing up, and then I suggested that we cast our neighbor kids.
Yeah.
And actually sort of make it like a cute, fun. Originally, like, it wasn't really supposed to be scary. It was really supposed to be sort of like you know, sort of just a love letter to Halloween in general.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think there were some decent scares in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just wanted sort of a cute little homage to Halloween.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, actually, he said strigoi is vampiric ghost from Romania. Okay.
Ooh.
A vampiric ghost. We're gonna have to look into that, yeah.
You should do something with vampires.
We should. That'd be so fun.
Yeah.
So, guys, you now know what their next short film will be. So, thanks, Emilio, for that.
Ghost. Yeah. Actually, what was the biggest challenge in this short film, apart from the editing, because that was a challenge by itself? But
the biggest challenge is packing up the car with all of the film equipment, and I think what was the hardest part? Really, the writing. I think
the writing was a challenge.
We spent a lot of time trying to come up with a way to end it.
Yeah.
And we actually shot a whole bunch of tests, you know, ideas. And yeah, I mean, I think we probably spent like 2 or 3 nights in a row just trying to figure out.
Do you have alternate endings that you thought of that you could share with us?
What was London?
So it was something like one of the bigger issues that we had was how to keep my character in the house, because, you know, we wanted it to be contained, and there's something fun when you can just contain the story to a general area. But, you know, once my character opens this door, it's like, there's the outside. And once even the trick-or-treaters leave, I'm just go, you know, like, why not just go? And so then that's when Aaron added, well, let's put the sheep person outside, then that keeps you inside. And then, but then it was still the question of how do we end?
It's an easy
that we're inside the house.
It's an easy issue when you make horror films. You know, everyone sort of states the obvious, like, why don't you just run out the door? Just call the police. And so we kind of tried to solve that by having the ghost outside so that she's forced back inside the house.
Yeah.
But that took some figuring out. Just, you know, even like a simple idea like that, just put the monster outside. Now she has to go back in. It kind of, you know, logically makes the most sense, but it wasn't easy to figure out how to keep her in the house to begin with.
Yeah, that's the art part with our movie. Like you can do, there's a lot of stuff that can go under the rug in our movie.
Oh yeah.
In an easy way to put it, like you can play with, like, there's stuff that makes no sense, but it's okay that it makes no sense. It's a horror movie, but there are stuff that you need to make sense. Like you said, like, why wouldn't she run out the door and call the police? Well, if you put the ghost there, she won't do it. But you need to think about that. And yeah, that's like you said, it's actually nice challenges to have for our movies. This is a nice part of it.
It is.
It is, yeah.
The least fun part of it is doing the editing.
I don't know.
You kind of like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm crazy. Once I finish filming, production is done, and I get to just sit down with a cup of coffee and edit. That is that's very meditative. It's just relaxing, and I can just focus on.
He's here.
It's like a puzzle,
coffee,
you know.
And then that.
Yeah, I'm always criticizing when I have to do editing, but every time I get into it, I just lose myself in it for like 7 hours straight.
Yeah,
just like
you forget to eat, you forget to go to the bathroom. You just kind of, or you don't forget. You feel hungry and you have to pee, but you just keep on going anyway.
I can totally relate to that.
Actually, someone asked if the kid kept the money as a salary for being on the film.
They did.
We paid them each $10.
We did. They did. Yeah. And they got all the candy. They actually hustled me out of all the best candy because they, you know, I was putting candy in their buckets to prep. They're already, you know, propped buckets.
Yeah.
And when they're looking at my big bag of Halloween candy, which I wanted all of the Kit Kats out of it, they kept being like, "Oh, let me trade this for a Kit Kat. Let me trade this for a Kit Kat." And I was like, "The Kit Kats are the best part." No, next thing I know, I have no more Kit Kats left. The kids have hustled me out of every Kit Kat. And I was like, "You guys took all my Kit Kats," and they ran away laughing. And I was like,
I know where you live.
I know where you are. Let's see what you like in like 10 seconds.
We mentioned the first one that the cat sometimes can be a problem to film with. Were they a problem in this film?
They weren't even there.
They were at
No, they were. They filmed at their parents' house. Weren't you listening?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were in Los Angeles.
We've got one of the cats right here.
Right here.
You can almost see her if you go like. Can you see her? Oh,
there
she is. Little star of the show.
Dylan has his own dog, actually.
Yeah, I have my dog here.
Oh yeah.
It's a skeleton, but yeah.
Like, Halloween dog.
Yeah. Do you already have an idea on the next short film?
We do.
Ooh.
Well, first question though, did you guys watch our recent one, the one we released like 2 days ago called Costumes?
There's one that came out like 2 days ago?
2 or 3 days ago, yeah.
I didn't get an alert.
Yeah, I don't know if the alerts went out last time. It was weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, why don't we put it put it right now.
Yeah, I'm getting it right now.
This is a weird one.
You guys will see a different side of me. So I appreciate your compliments for my acting. There's a different level of acting in this one. Let's see what you think.
This is a surprise special.
How about I wear you for Halloween, bitch?
Okay.
So I'll wear you for Halloween.
Yeah.
Those are our 2 Halloween themed short films. It was very fun October.
Yeah.
Well, that was creepy. And you were the monster, I guess.
I was, and it was so much fun to be the monster.
At first, I was like, okay, so they really put a lot of makeup on her, so that because I thought you were the blondie there.
Right.
Then I realized it wasn't you, so I guessed, yeah.
Oh my god! In the comment right now, Buffalo Bill over here, get some braces. Dang, making a human suit. So we got some kind of skinwalker mofo here. Who looked up the photo of the sexy nurse?
I know, right? When I saw it, I was like, people are going to react to this, but I kind of loved it because it was such like a sexy photo that girl sent over. I was like, put it in. That's cool.
Yeah, it kind of has like a
I even
theme.
asked during when we showed it, you took that on Google or something? No, you really had someone wearing this.
Yeah, that was Amanda, the lead actress's friend. So she sent it to us.
It was late at night. We thought, because we're filming, we did this all in one night. I'm in complete monster garb for like 12 hours. And the original plan was that we would like clean the costume because fake blood actually comes out really easily. So we're like, okay, we'll clean the costume and then put Victoria in it. But it was like so much cleaning, like several hours of cleaning, getting me ready just for that nurse photo. Was going to have to just take a giant break so that we could film that insert of Amanda, receiving the photo from the friend. But then we were like, well, let's text all of our friends and see if any girls we know have sexy nurse costumes at home. And then they either have a photo already, because I think the woman in the photo had already had that photo like prepared. She wasn't just hanging out in it by chance. No.
Well, that was a really very nice movie. I liked it. Totally different vibe.
It's a weird one.
Oh yeah.
That one was fun. Aaron came up with that idea, complete credit. And when he said it to me, I was like, I love that. We have to make that. Like, I love that.
And you don't have to die. Like, that's even better.
I'm going to be like getting better looking in the short. Literally start the worst possible and then just get slightly more human.
Just slightly, let's say.
Some cannibal tribal person.
Yeah. Oh, now little dog wants to come up. Little dog can come up. Come on. Come here.
Come on, little doggy.
Come on, little dog. Oh, he's so little.
He wants attention.
Yeah.
So, how's your feature coming?
So yeah, I mean the feature, we've probably had a rough cut now for a couple months.
Yeah.
We're still trying to schedule this final sort of pickup shot, or it's like a little segment of a news broadcaster. And once we finish that, then we can pretty much go right into color and sound, and that's about it. Yeah. So hopefully we will actually be done by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And that was sort of always the goal, but with everything going on in the world, it's definitely taken a little bit longer than expected.
It is. And I think that the short films, like we've just had so much excitement for them. And October was almost entirely parceled out just to be, for the YouTube channel work. So we were just having such a great time. I mean, I think it's only slowing us down a little bit, but we're still on track. So
yeah, and your channel grew a lot in the past few months.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? How has it impacted you and your life?
It's really taken over our lives.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, the biggest thing is that every day we're either working on shooting something or we're coming up with the next idea.
Right.
So for the most part, we're still finishing this feature. But when we're not doing that, we're, just coming up with new short film ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I don't know. We haven't gotten like any studio deals yet. So if you know anyone at, Warner Brothers that wants to hire us,
But it does seem like a much more, I don't know, viable, independent route to be taking. So we've always been in the camp of thinking like, got to do the next feature. We need to do the next feature. What's the next feature going to be? And then these short films allow us to tell these, smaller stories and really tell them faster and just get them out. Like, I think we were probably in a similar position with our feature. The last time we talked to you guys, we've only had a little bit of progress since. But since the last time we talked to you guys, I think we've done 3 entire short films.
Yeah,
So it's like, and that's fun, and then you hear people saying your brand name, our company, Social House Films. I probably heard a dozen people say it over the course of it being launched for the past 4 years until this year. Now it's like reaction videos from Social House Films. And it's really nice to hear that and kind of get people recognizing us now in some capacity.
Yeah, so
you had like
for those who
subscribers.
those who didn't know,
it's crazy.
Aaron and Victoria are from the YouTube channel Social House Films. So if you want to go and look them up, there's a link in the description to their channel. So if you can go that way.
Thank you.
So that's gonna be all for us right now. We have another guest coming in. The last one for tonight. It was nice having you.
Nice to see you guys.
Always a pleasure, anytime.
Yeah, we'll clearly invite you again in the near future with at the pace you come out with the movie. Like, yeah, we're gonna have a lot to cover at some point. So, so yeah, it was nice having you on the show again, and have a good day.
Thank you.
guys.
You too.
Have a
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. And now for the last guest tonight, Alexander Carazzi. I hope I'm pronouncing it well. We're going to start the short film SAMHAIN right away. We'll dive into it, and then we'll have him on the show, talk about himself, his project, and what actually does for a living, because he has a pretty interesting career, and we're going to have a lot of questions for him about that career. So let's play SAMHAIN.
This makes 3.
It's the same pattern.
What pattern?
All killed last night? Stab wounds? I mean, it's gotta be. You know?
That's impossible. Death was confirmed. I read the report. I saw the house.
Yeah, everybody saw the report, not the actual body, not the autopsy.
Come on, Gibson. Cut it out. Could be a copycat. It's not unheard of. You checked the house?
Yeah. No weapon. He probably took it with him.
Gibson.
I'm sorry.
This is exactly what we don't need. Now radio the sheriff and get him over here.
Yes, sir.
Sheriff. Hi.
Hey, Sandy. You realize your windows are open?
Oh, yeah. I was gonna close them.
You didn't even know, did you?
I was going to check them all.
Sure you were. You know, we'd appreciate it if you younger folks took this a little more serious.
Oh, you mean the, police state that this city's become? It's been 3 years. He's dead. Nothing has happened.
It doesn't matter. There's a reason we lock up at night. There's a reason we don't go out the 31st. You didn't see any of it. And seeing it on the news is not the same thing.
Okay. I'll barricade myself in.
Just lock your doors and stay inside, okay?
Yeah, I will.
Thank you. Your parents back from out of town yet?
Not until the 5th.
All the more reason to be careful. If anything happens, just call the direct line. Okay? Have a good night. Stay safe.
Deputy Gibson is sheriff. Come in, sheriff.
Sheriff here. Go ahead, Gibson.
Need you over at Haddon Drive right away. Turns out it is a homicide. Detective McNeil, the state police, is already on site.
Okay, I'm 20 minutes out. I'm in the West End. What's the number there?
37.
Okay, give me 20 minutes. En route.
So what's the surprise?
Don't worry about it.
It better not be another murder documentary. I'm sick of those.
Oh, it's something much better.
Hey, what would your parents say if they saw all this?
Therapy for sure. Whatever. Someone's got to celebrate. Okay, don't go anywhere.
Hey, you better not try to scare me. I know you. Sandy? Oh, what the fuck?
You know, if I was a murderer, you'd be dead.
Haha, good one.
Okay, are you ready? My great-grandfather's old files from all of his patients.
Holy shit. Where'd you get this?
My mom's stuff. Reports and journals on real psychos and killers, including you know who.
Oh, This is much better.
I read some of it last night. It's pretty demented. These are his private journals. What he really thought about them.
Whoa. I'm convinced it's something not human. I won't go to the board with this, not until I have something conclusive. Holy shit. Look at his eyes.
He thought some of them were actually possessed. Wait, let me find the one that I read last night. It was like his discovery or something, but he didn't say who it was about. Here it is. January 16th, 1972. I have to stop. I can't keep doing this. I can't get through to him, not to him. I can't get past what I see in him. I don't know what else to call it other than a shape.
Is this him? What?
SAMHAIN.
Oh my god. Are you serious? This fucking chick. Is this part of the surprise? Sandy, can we turn the lights on, please? Fine, I'll do it. Sandy.
And welcome back. So we didn't change the name on the screen though. Dylan.
Aaron and Victoria.
Dylan.
Oh, sorry. This is my fault, guys. So don't. Alexander, sorry. I'm really
No
sorry.
No worries. I'm so offended.
So, how are you today?
Very, very good. What about you guys?
Well, we're doing fine. We have a couple problems with sound today. So, it was the first sound problem we got where it was not from us. So that's yeah. But in any way, so welcome on the show. First of all, it's a really good movie. I love the movie, even though it's like about 15 minutes. You don't see it as a 15 minutes film. Like it goes way faster. And that's something I really liked about that movie. There's already like people were going on in the chat about it. Wait, is that Michael? I knew it. What? And then chick was possessed by the spirit of Michael Myers and killed her friend. The Shape, I guess it. So, so yeah.
Okay, so Francis, as a cinematographer, what's your criticism? What part of that short film would you have done some another way?
Pretty much nothing, because it was well directed and the lighting was done by my teacher. So that, like, I can't say nothing. Everything I learned, we learned from the same person, actually. I think, well, unless, yeah, exactly. We learned from the same person, John. So yeah. So there's nothing I can say about it that is not like how I would have done it, because
especially if he's watching, yeah.
So how did you came out with that idea, actually?
Well, first of all, thanks for the nice compliments. I really appreciate it. So basically, me and my co-producer for the film, we were both big Halloween fans, or just John Carpenter fans in general. And so we always wanted to do this, Halloween off story, That's another thing too, is that a lot of people, I guess people have seen this film, kind of classify it as a fan film and put it in a fan film category or realm. Me personally, I don't think it's really a fan film, because the way it was written was more of like a spin-off story. Like as if you were to go to see a new Halloween sequel or spin-off, the intention is that it's kind of like the same thing, where it was meant to be its own story, but just fitting in this universe, and the Halloween universe.
That can still be the definition of a fan film. It's just that a fan film is not made by the original owners of the copyright.
Okay, yeah. In that case, then yeah, 100%.
Like,
because
I'm sorry, we discussed a bit while the movie was playing about Shadow of the Conqueror, and when I approached Chad, the author of Shadow of the Conqueror, to make a short film about his book, I told him, if you don't want us to make it, I'll still make it. It'll just be a fan film. But if you join us, it can be something a bit more official. So, yeah.
That's amazing. That's really cool. Okay, yeah, I understand. I see what you mean in that regards. That makes total sense. I guess for me, I'm just used to fan films being like, you'll see fan films online or whatever, where it's like, for example, a Harry Potter or like Star Wars fan film. You'll get, like a Star Wars fan film, you'll get somebody playing Darth Vader, somebody playing Luke Skywalker, and they're like recreating scenes or stuff like that. And for me, that's, in my mind, that's what a fan film is. But I get what you're saying, like taking the property, if that's considered, it's obviously it's copyrighted material. So in that case, it would be considered fan fiction to an extent, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, Thunder Wolf was saying, love the scenery and the tension. The film felt very Halloween. So
oh, thank you.
So you actually captured the essence of Carpenter.
That was one of my main. I was stressing out a lot about that. So thank you to whoever said that. Thank you very much.
They did a lot of Now they're talking about the reboots. Okay, so
the one that got pushed next year. That was supposed to come out last week.
So actually, who played Mike Myers? Like, I need to know. He looks huge.
Yeah, he's a very talented actor by the name of Serge Blair. Okay. Serge Blair, I remember for Michael, I had one actual physical audition. I had some people who sent me some tapes. They were okay, not really what I was looking for, but he was the only guy that I was able to meet up with an audition in person. This guy is 6'5".
Holy shit.
He came walking into the audition. I was like, already I was intimidated, you know. But I recorded his audition, and I told him, come in as the shape, show me what you can do, and I recorded everything from a POV perspective, as if I was a character running away from the shape, from Michael. And this guy scared the shit out of me. I don't know if I can curse on here, but he scared the shit out of me. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, it was amazing. And another thing he told me was that he grew up with all those slashers from the late 70s and 80s, the Jasons and all that. So for him, Halloween was a special franchise that meant a lot to him. So that's another reason why I knew he was the right person to cast.
Yeah, you can feel it sometimes. It's like the series Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that did the audition, like, he just creeped out the director. He came in, said nothing, didn't even do the ritual of an audition, went straight to the guy and just did the sniff test. The director was creeped out. And that's how he got the role. So
I have a question from the audience. So John Michael asks, how did you get the police cars? And I want to know. So how did you get the police cars?
I can't tell you. I'm joking. So actually, one of the actors on the film, his name is Gerardo. He plays the sheriff in the film. We've actually become really close friends off set now, and he co-produced and starred in my recent short that I just shot a couple months ago as well. So all that to say, he has these cars and whatnot at his disposal, and he for a certain fee and whatnot, just like anybody renting out their props, they'll for a certain fee they'll provide you authentic uniforms, weapons, stuff like that, and obviously it adds a lot of production value, right? So.
Okay, so I'm just because I'm curious and because I know a bit about this in the local Montreal area, because I know that a lot of the police cars are the ones that they used for like 19-2, the series, because it was all shot in Montreal, and they needed a lot of police cars for that. So do you? Is that from? Well, I don't know if you know.
If it's from if it's from that show.
Yeah.
It could be. I can lie to people and say, yeah, it was from the show, just to make it more.
Well, I know they removed the lettering and they removed the numbers on the cars, so.
Yeah, but it's very possible. It's very possible. Like you said, they reach out to the main, I guess, production houses that, well, not necessarily production houses, but just prop houses that rent those stuff. But I'm sure they also go off island, on these big scale productions for sure. Yeah. Very possible.
How long did it took to shoot the whole short?
That was 3 days, and it was very tough in terms of the hours we shot. Very, very tough. Whoops, sorry. It was very, very, very tough. It was, the first night we got there, I think 6, 7 in the afternoon, in the evening. started prepping everything. It took a good 2-3 hours, and we started actually shooting about 9. This was July of last year, 2019, so it only got dark around that time. And we were shooting till like 4 or 5 in the morning, man. It was crazy.
So
really crazy.
7 to 4, 3 days in a row.
Something like that, yeah. And a lot like lack of sleep, 100%. Like the 3rd day, I was destroyed, man. I was destroyed. I couldn't. Where people, my my AD and stuff are all asking me questions and stuff like that. I couldn't understand what they were saying. So, yeah.
Francis, you broke my machine.
Francis.
Yeah, I'm having connection problem right now. Okay, I think I'm back.
That is unacceptable.
Yeah, I know. Like I only heard some part of it, and it was just cutting the whole time. So, and I wasn't sure if you guys were hearing me, but yeah, my connection is just shitty right now. I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
do you want me to repeat what I was saying?
Tell your friend that to stop streaming on Netflix or something.
Hey, you know what I realized? Francis has my name. I have Francis's name.
Yeah, that's what I said. If you broke the machine, so I have to fix that now.
No worries.
Yeah, I disconnected at some point. Yeah, my connection is dying. I don't know what's going on.
Francis is a nice name, so it's good.
Okay, why isn't it working? Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah.
Okay. It's just me that can't hear you good. I don't know what's going on. It just keeps cutting.
Just keep
going. I can't even
Francis.
see your feed right now. Everything is frozen on my side.
So let's go with the flow.
Well, I guess we.
Okay, so Francis froze again. So.
I froze? Okay, yeah.
Let's just.
It happens, guys. It happens.
It happens. We're live. That's how lives work. So, let's kick Francis out. Well, that's it. Okay, so where were we?
We're talking 3 days shooting schedule.
Yeah. So, apart from the schedule, do you have a funny anecdote? Do you have something you want to tell us that happened on that film and that made it a great experience for you?
Yeah, there was quite a few. I'm trying. It's like when somebody asks you a question, and then you just like. There's all these scenarios I wanted to say, but now it's like, oh, which one do I have to choose? Well, basically, like it was just really fun shooting, especially the outdoor stuff with the Steadicam. I had made it a point to spend that extra money to rent the Steadicam in order to replicate Carpenter's, to get the same feel, right? I didn't want a stabilizer. I don't find it has the same effect at all. So I was really adamant about the Steadicam. So every time we were shooting outside at night with the Steadicam, so what you see in the film, it seems like it's completely, the streets are completely abandoned and deserted. And in reality, behind the camera, we had all the neighbors standing outside watching, filming stuff. And then, we were a decent sized crew, maybe 15, 16 people, but I didn't have any security, whatever. So some of the PAs were telling everybody to put down their phones, stop filming everything. But it was cool, it was just cool to see everybody so enthusiastic about that stuff. And there were like little cool things that happened where when we were shooting the day we shot our second day, which is the day the shape scene, the Michael Myers scene. Yep. I distinctively remember the moon was blood red, completely blood red, and I was like, okay, this is like little things like that. I was like, it's really cool.
And you didn't
Whatever
include
that meant,
that in the short, the Blood Red Moon?
I think I only realized it like towards like 3 in the morning. I was like, I still have a bunch of other stuff I gotta do. So I was like, I can't.
I would have taken like a shot with my phone and just inserted it somewhere in the background.
Or like the poster of the film, you know?
Oh yeah. So
I don't know
Francis,
if you
now
asked
that
the
you're back.
question from, yeah, finally.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you. It's a pleasure to be on your show, guys. Actually, someone's asked. I don't know if you already asked it because it was just cutting. But were there any funny bloopers? Like, did the killer bump his knee and fell over?
He didn't bump his knee, but what happened? What did he do? I think at one point, because he had his mask on for so long, and he's a big guy, you know, so like he was sweating under the mask, so it got really stuck to his neck, his face. So in between takes, he couldn't even, like, he was having such a hard time taking it off that we didn't want to. We only had one mask. We didn't have any second or third ones, so I didn't want him to risk breaking it. I was like, please just keep it on your face, man. And at like 6 in the morning, we finished. The sun's coming out. He just took it off, and like I felt really bad, but it was hilarious.
He broke it to remove it?
Yeah, at the end, because it was like skin tight, like sweating on his face.
That must have been amazing to see. Just
it was so funny. It was so funny.
Ah, goddamn connection. Well, okay.
So Emilio's saying that speaking of moons, there's a blue moon tomorrow. How awesome is that? I don't know
Really
what
cool.
a blue moon is.
Blue moon? I never heard of it either. No.
Francis, did you?
Where are you from, Emilio? No, I never heard about a blue moon. So
Once in a blue moon.
It would be nice to know where he's from. Once in a blue moon.
I'll make sure I keep my eye on it tomorrow. Halloween night.
So do you have any other upcoming short films, upcoming films that are in the works right now that you can give us a bit of a sneak peek?
Yeah, for sure. So I just finished shooting another short a couple months ago at the end of August. It's a crime drama. Just finished editing it. Spent a lot of time on that, and now I'm sending it off to sound and color. So it should be done by sometime in November, before the end of the year. And yeah, I'm looking to push that to, as I do with all my films, push it to festivals for next year, and hoping to probably sell it, most likely sell it. That's the idea, is we want to sell the film. Me and my producing partner think it has pretty decent potential for that. So we're very excited. And I have another 3-4 scripts that are ready to go. I have 2 features, 3 shorts ready to go. And right now it's just about getting the funding and stuff, trying to see what my options are for that.
When do you think it will be released?
Officially, well, the thing is, if we're planning on selling it, it probably won't get released for a while. But it's going to definitely hit the festival circuit next year. So you know, anybody who has me on social media, who follows me on social media, will be able to keep up with what festivals will be playing it. You know, it could be the US, could be Canada, definitely in Montreal. We're gonna try to push in our home city here, and people will be able to keep up with you know, with those screenings, those festival screenings. Maybe they can attend some of those.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And actually, just to stray off away from the short universe and all your creation, you're also an editor in your daily life, I think. And you did some work on Shazam, you did some work on SpongeBob, and Aladdin. How is it actually to be working for such big movies as an editor?
Yeah, they're awesome. So one thing I will make clear like right off the bat is, so it's not creative editing that I do. So the creative editing for these big motion pictures, obviously these studios, Disney, Universal, all these big studios, they obviously have their own in-house creative editors. So they're the ones who actually cut the film together. So I don't do that. I work for a post-production house that will work on either the VFX, the CGI, all that stuff, the animation. And we get these films, as part of a contract with these major studios, and we do more technical editing. So we're just focused on the post-production side of the effects side of that stuff. So I'll be like, currently I'm working at an animation studio. I'm not allowed to say what I'm working on, but it's a cool Disney project where I'm just basically taking the footage from Disney and kind of sending it off to the people in different departments at my studio to look at, kind of like maintaining that all the edits are good. It's really technical stuff. It's really not creative, but it's still an editing job, and I still get a wonderful credit on the film. So that's really, I'm super happy about that.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Shazam I loved Shazam. So it was just like, when I saw that you worked on it, I was just like, holy crap, you worked on Shazam. But
I didn't even see the film, man, but like, because I spent like 6 months like as a technical editor, so like I pretty much saw the whole thing. I was like, the IMAX tickets are too expensive nowadays,
Yeah, this must be the worst part from being like working on the editing, because you see the whole thing, and so why would you watch it afterwards?
100%. There's this friend of mine, this guy, he's an animator. So he told me his story when he worked on Star Wars The Last Jedi. So I mean, okay, I won't go into spoilers in case nobody who's watching this has seen it yet, but
Last Jedi?
Am I allowed to say it? Yeah.
Well, Last Jedi is like 3 years. The point for spoilers is past. So if you haven't watched Last Jedi, leave or mute for a few minutes. But go ahead, spoilers.
Okay, cool. So the moment where you have the reveal that Snoke, Snoke is killed off by Kylo Ren, and like, all the big twists, right?
Yeah.
He saw them all as he was working on the film, and he is like a die-hard Star Wars fan, so he was so pissed off when he was working on that movie because they gave him all the spoiler shots that he needed to work on. He was so pissed off.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But that's part of the job, man. Even what was it? I had a friend who worked on Avengers Endgame, like, the most secretive film of like the last 10 years, right? And he saw like everything, the ending and who died and all that. I was like, wow.
Well, actually, they're now pretty creative in their way to be secretive about film now. Marvel, like, I don't know if you saw, if you follow Tom Holland, but the way they send the script to the actors is by sending them a whole tablet with the script in it. So they actually send an Apple tablet to every actor, everyone that works on the film, so that it doesn't go in the cloud or anything. Wow. And in his video, he actually breaks the tablet after opening it.
Do you think that stuff is real, man? Because with this guy, he always does like clumsy stuff, I don't know.
Yeah, I think, well, he dropped it on the floor and just said, yeah, so I just broke it, but yeah, I'm going to start reading it in like 5 minutes. So I guess the screen was broken, but everything was working fine. But yeah, he always does stupid stuff on
Yeah, maybe it's real. Maybe it's just really clumsy.
Yeah, exactly. He's perfect for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Tom Holland really has it. For the role of Spider-Man, I think he's really great. Okay, so I'm sorry, but I'm gonna cut you off because I want to go and watch the first episode of Mandalorian. So
no worries.
I'm really sorry. It's not that it's not interesting, but My dad.
It's not me. It's not me. It's you.
Yeah, exactly. I like having guests that understand. So,
but yeah, you have
worries,
your dad in
no
the
worries.
living room, right?
Sorry?
Your dad is waiting in the living room, right?
Yeah, he's waiting in the living room for me to watch Mandalorian with him.
Yeah, I have a whole popcorn just for the show. I think I'm gonna binge watch tonight. So.
Yeah. So.
Awesome.
Thanks for being here with us, Alexander. Thanks
Yeah.
everyone for listening in with us. It was a long episode. We're almost 2 hours long. I hoped you really liked this format of filmmaking with a lot of guests and a lot of films.
Because it will not happen that often.
Yeah,
we'll be on special events.
This
like
was
next one,
a lot of
Christmas
work for
special.
Francis. This was a lot of work for Francis. So thanks, Francis, for all the efforts you put into this show.
It's always fun to work on it.
So if you like this, please subscribe to our channel if it's not done yet. What are you doing? And if you want to see all the projects that we're working on, like Battle for Diratia, that we just released a new version on Patreon with ghosts, vampires, werewolves, and zombies. So if you want to get that for Halloween,
they're all
the link is in
playable
the
race.
description. Yes.
And they're all playable, exactly.
You
there's-
can't create. It's complicated.
You can become one.
I won't get into it right now. So, thanks everyone for being here, and have a great day.